Welcome back to the Love Fix, lovely people. First of all, an apology. I didn't post any videos last week. That's because I've been horrendously busy moving house and decorating, and I'm in the middle of buying more property. So it's been very, very busy. But enough about that. Today, I will be talking about why you shouldn't take your ex back if they come back seeking a reconciliation. So strap in, grab yourself a drink, and take this on board. So I've mentioned this in previous videos. Why would you take someone back that rejected you? And this is a big question that you have to ask yourself. Why would you take somebody back that chose to walk away when they could have worked with you, when they could have gone to counselling with you, where they could have sat you down and said, hey, my love, things are not working out right now. I love you and I want to work on things. I really hope that you're taking this on board and you're listening to the words that I say. Now, if they did say something along those lines and you didn't get the message, then unfortunately the end result of that is a breakup. But if they didn't even extend that olive branch, if they just walked away without even giving you a second chance, why would you want someone like that batting for you? Assuming that they do come back, assuming that you've done no contact correctly, you've gone away, you've looked at yourself and said, right, I need to improve here, here, and here. I will go and do that. I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me. Then they come back, but they've done fuck all to improve themselves. They've done nothing and expect you to take them back. This is the person that walked away when, in my experience at least, there's normally quite an easy, simple solution to fix that relationship. They gave up on the first hurdle. Do you really want someone in the trenches with you like that? This person is meant to have your back, no matter what, sickness and health, richness or poorness, and to quote a marriage phrase, I know most of you probably are not married here, but you get what I mean. So for me, this is a red flag. This is a big sign of incompatibility. Now, you may be compatible in 100 different ways. Same sense of humor, same taste in music, films, same life aspirations, goals, philosophy on life, which is all wonderful. But there are some core non-negotiables. And for me, I'll give you an example. I will not date someone who's cheated previously. I will just not accept that. Now, that person may have changed. That person may have turned over a new leaf, but I know what that would do to my anxiety. So there's an inherent level of trust there. I will not date someone who smokes or abuses alcohol or drugs because I do not want to be in a situation where that person is jeopardizing their life. And plus, it's a bad habit, in my opinion, and it doesn't smell very nice. So you have to figure out a non-negotiable. And for me, someone that ducks out at the first sign of trouble is a non-negotiable. I would not take that person back personally. And I've advised clients to not take that person back. Because when it really comes down to it, when it really comes down to the shit hitting the fan, anybody can be in a relationship when it's good. Not everybody can be in a relationship when it's on the floor. And it takes someone that is willing to grow with you in a similar fashion. Someone that's willing to compromise to a certain extent, but not compromise their values. And you should be doing the same thing. You should compromise, but not compromise yourself to such a degree where you're no longer you. But if both parties have that maturity, and to be honest, for me, what is compatibility? For me, compatibility is more about maturity than it is compatibility. It's having the maturity of saying, okay, we're compatible in these areas without having to try. And that's fantastic. But in some of these little areas, we're not as compatible as I would like. So a mature response to that would be, okay, well, if I can tweak it 10% and they can tweak it 10%, we can maybe make up that deficit. And it's about adapting. And now I have to adapt to everybody in my life. I have to adjust what I do, say, and think without compromising myself. As an example, I have to adjust myself with my parents, with my siblings, with my work colleagues, my friends, my clients. I have to make those adjustments to make those relationships work, because we will never be 100% compatible with anyone. And to be honest, why would you? It's the differences is what makes it interesting, what makes it fun. But if you're dating someone, or they've now broken up with you, but they didn't have the maturity to identify, well, look, if we adjusted 10% each, we can salvage this. Because in my experience, the solutions are often been quite simple. So, right, this can be saved. But the person that's dumped you did not have the maturity, did not have the presence of mind to see a solution. Now, I'm basing this on that you had a good relationship. It wasn't toxic. It was happy, it was fun, it was fulfilling. And you hit a bump in the road, whatever that might have been. And they ducked out at the first sign of trouble. So why the fuck would you want that person back? Why would you want that person batting for you when you can't bat for yourself? Why would you want that person having your back when the world is against you? So you really need to ask yourself this question before you take your ex back. Because right now, you, the dumpy, you've had to go away and make adjustments. You've had to identify what you did wrong and where you need to improve. Do you think your ex is doing that right now? Do you think the dumper, the person who abandoned you when they could have worked with you, they could have gone to counselling with you, do you think they see anything wrong in what they have done or what they are doing? Do they fuck? So what typically happens if they do reach out to you, you've gone away, you've done all this amazing work on yourself to level up, to be a better version of you, to get you back. And now they want you back. But they are still that person who dumped you. They haven't made the adjustments. They're expecting you to make all the adjustments. Do you really want to be with someone like that? Now, to be fair to the dumpy, let's assume for a second that their decision to dump you was justified. Maybe you were needy and anxious, which, to be fair, comes up in a lot of my coaching calls. And maybe they are asking you for something like, hey, when we were together last time, you were very anxious and needy. Every time I went to see friends or family, you were blowing up my phone with calls and texts asking where I am. And that made me feel bad, and that made me feel guilty. And I don't want to feel bad or guilty or suffocated in a relationship, especially with someone that I care about. So maybe as a compromise, when I do go out, I will tell you where I'm going and who I will be with. And when I'm finished, I will tell you that I'm on the way home. But in between that, I would appreciate it if you didn't text or call me and just let me have that evening away from our relationship, because time apart is just as important as time together. Now, if you get a request like that, you should do what you can to accommodate it, because that is a reasonable request if you were anxious and needy, and you should be going away working on your anxiousness and neediness, and you should be getting therapy for this. But if they are coming at you with unreasonable requests and they're not willing to compromise and they're not willing to meet you halfway, then this is a fundamental incompatibility, because compatibility is maturity. Maturity is compatibility. And if they do not possess that, and you've gone away and you've leveled up, you've done all this work on yourself, then you really need to ask yourself, is this person growing with you? Or are they just expecting you to say, I will do whatever it takes to make this relationship work? And if they do put that expectation on you, you should probably walk away, because that would mean you would have to compromise yourself to a point where you're no longer you no longer respect yourself, you are now operating from a position of weakness, not a position of strength, and you've devalued yourself. And you should never be doing that. Confidence, self-worth, self-love, that's what is sexy. That is what is attractive. That's how you re-attract someone, and that is how you attract somebody new. So I'm going to wrap this up now, and I will leave you with this. So before you consider a reconciliation, before you consider reaching out to me or another coach for advice, do you really want to be with someone that ducked out at the first sign of trouble? That is the only question that you need to answer. And if you answer that truthfully, you will know how to proceed. As always, guys, thank you for listening, and I will see you on the other side.